how are you doing today? I know that today I look like I'm about to go and beat my wife and kids and drink 2 beers, but I'm just feeling a bit freer today, so I'm gonna be more comfortable than I usually am. Without further ado, my name is Arkady. I've been a high ticket coach for the past 4 plus years. Today we're going to be talking about how I sold at 54% as a man in a menopausal niche, and I was selling a program for $3,000. And I'm going to share a short story to make more colors out of this example. Let's dive right into it. So, this is how I sold at 54% as a high ticket coach. Plus, I'm going to include a full framework creation in the description. It's a custom GPT I created. It's based on years of experience in sales and on all the different frameworks I used, the best ones. It will just gonna ask you some questions, you reply to those questions, and then it will create everything for you automatically. Copy paste it in your Google Doc, Notion, wherever you use it, and then use it on your sales calls. So yesterday I jumped on a call with some guys who help influencers with their YouTube channels, and I started running a YouTube channel 3 weeks ago pretty much. So I'm quite curious what kind of offers are out there to grow it faster, simpler, etc. I know exactly what to expect from that call, as I joined a lot of those in the past and been on the other side myself hundreds of times. I sold hundreds of times. You book a call, you're getting bombarded with reminders, you don't read, you jump on the call, they try to sell you, either buy or you don't buy. Simple. That's how everybody does it. And it is the simplest of all funnels if you think of it, and theirs was magnificent. Like literally, the top of the funnel they had was amazing, perfectly dialed in. They started by sending me a personalized Loom video going over my YouTube channel and showing some areas they could improve there. As opposed to usual like screenshots with some red coloring that's showing obvious info like the amount of views I got and stuff like that, with an extension open on the right side, this was actually a personalized Loom from a founder. Now I would assume that it was adjusted, so it wasn't really from a founder, but then again, who knows, it might have been. And this is like plus point to them for sure. The link to book a call was in the Loom video, so there is an option now in Loom that you can put it like in the top right left corner. You can put like a link to Calendly or whatever link you want. So it was easy to book, there was little fraction there. They followed up with me multiple times, that was also amazing. There weren't too many qualifying questions on the booking page, that's plus 1 point for sure. They presented a humongous guarantee on the Loom video, plus 1 point, and the call was supposed to be with the founder, which is also plus 1 point. I had my doubts, but still, you never know. So far, we're 5 points ahead and winning. Cool, you're winning your prospects hard. That's where it got funny. First and foremost, I got literally bombarded with reminders, all different kinds of them. And mind you, I got no problem with reminders, but personalize them. In Calendar, you can create custom SMS workflows. If you're using JHL, same thing, you can create custom SMS workflows that are using before after call kind of criteria. If it's complicated, open YouTube and learn how to do that, but don't just set 15 reminders with the same exact text to send to a person, because first of all they won't read it, and second of all it really bores them out. And that's just my experience with it. I never did that kind of thing. I mean, in the beginning I made that mistake, but I learned my lessons. Minus 1 point. Then 3 minutes before the call, someone calls me. Let's call him John for the rest of the video because anonymity and I don't want to get sued. Tells me that the founder is busy and won't be able to take the call, so John will replace him. No problem for me. All I care about is what kind of solution they provide, and hence I was okay with that. Quite simply, really don't care. A closer or a founder, it doesn't matter as long as I can see what am I gonna get. But why not mention that in the beginning? So I'm gonna assume that they do it with pretty much every, because founder is a busy guy. If he's running a couple of companies or at least one company that does a ton of cash, he probably doesn't have time to jump on calls with everyone, and given their email, I would assume they're sending a lot of them, as well as probably running ads, stuff like that, creating content. They have millions of followers somewhere. So they probably don't have a lack of leads. Therefore, a founder will not be able to attend to each and every one of them anyway. It's quite obvious. So say that in the beginning, the call will be with one of my trust team members, one of my trusted team members that will take care of you as well as I would. Simple. That's how I did it, because I would appointment set from my partner's social media accounts when I was appointment setting, and I would put them on a call with myself. So that was a bit funny. But either case, I would just text them and say, hey, the call will be with this guy. Simple. If they have a problem with that, it's an objection. Overcome it. Don't just do it like that. So you promote a call with the founder just to replace him with someone else. I don't like it. Minus 2 points. So from 5 points gained, we lost three. And that's exactly how, in my experience, funnels work. You can have an amazing top part of the funnel, but all the little yet annoying things down the line can completely destroy the initial experience. Like, seriously, that's why it's so important to focus on each and every point of whatever you're doing. Then the sales call came. And let me tell you, comrades, I was surprised. For the whole 20 minutes, my god, 20 freaking minutes, he was trying to find me pains. Gosh. And for those who don't know, sales calls usually go like a discovery phase, so you find the pain and desires, a method pitch, show solutions to those pains and desires, and then you close them. Apparently, you overcome objections caused you did a terrible job during discovery phase. Finita. That's how most sales calls go, and the system itself, I have no problem with that. I love it. I used it. I'm continuing using it. It's amazing when done right. That's the point. That's the main point. But I just can't stand it when they have no idea what they're doing. And I know that everybody's learning. Like, seriously, I know it. But do freaking role plays. Why would you get on a call with a real human being not knowing how to sell whatsoever? And where the hell is his manager or a founder? That's the main question for me. Why wouldn't you teach your salespeople how to sell? Salespeople sell. Sales is a revenue bloodline. Without sales, business won't make money. So if you use human beings to sell to other human beings, then teach them. Simple. For 20 minutes, John was using questions from NEPQ, sales guys will know, to try and understand my pains and desires. And once again, NEPQ is a great line of questioning. I appreciate and respect the work of Jeremy Miner. But if you got no idea what's behind and what's the logic behind it, you're just reading a bunch of questions from a piece of paper. Come on, seriously, terrible. Because NEPQ is a great way to understand and reveal problems of the prospect as well as their desires, and then present a solution. Really like it. I took a lot of it when I was creating my own sales framework that I used to sell at 54%. But I had to understand the logic behind it. And if you read the book, The Black Book of Questions, I believe that's the name, then you actually would get an idea if you read it carefully. So, 20 minutes in and I was cold as ice. Literally just didn't want to continue talking, but I was curious about what kind of solutions they provide. And I thought that would be it, but no, John then proceeded to an amazing method pitch. Comas, no, it was terrible. Definitely understood what prospects feel when they're bored out of their life. That's how I felt. I was just sitting there looking at the wall and I was thinking, when will it end? Because it was boring, to be honest. I got the information I needed from the first 2 minutes of it. The rest 15 minutes didn't matter much. So, and I simply can't understand why you waste 15 minutes on explaining that I will get access to a course in group coaching. Why? Then obviously came the closing part. That's where he crushed it. Once again, no. John had no idea how to handle simplest objections either. So we wasted another 15 minutes of our lives. And there is something bad, I feel, in just jumping off the call without saying goodbye. So when you just, say no, thank you, and then you just jump off the call. I usually want to end the call in good terms, say thank you for their time, because I've been a closer. I am still one to a certain extent. And I know how terrible it feels when the prospect just jumps off the call without saying goodbye. It just feels bad. You feel bad about yourself. All in all, I didn't buy anything. Simple reason is that it was another course and that's not the kind of thing I was looking to invest into. In being, I got only one question. Why don't you learn how to sell? One of the most important skills in the world. And yet why business owners put such salespeople on the line with real humans? John wouldn't be able to sell bananas to a monkey because he would bore the monkey with his line of questioning within the first 15 minutes. So what has caused you to think of a solution for a banana problem, Mr. Monkey? Nothing really. I'm just fucking hungry. That's the whole point of the call. I was curious about the solution. So if you would, by the way, reading the person you were sitting with in front of you on the call, super important. If he would just listen to what I said, he would stop with all the goals and pains. He would ask me 2 questions. What's the goal? What's the pain? That's it. I would be honest. And by the way, even if you don't want to read someone, just ask them what's your goal. Don't go into complicated questions that most people won't understand because most people's reading level is below 3rd grade. So I was interested in a solution. He could have just showed me the solution and we could have saved 20 minutes and there is a high chance that I would have bought. So, enough with the hate speech. I now feel better. I'd love to take a couple more minutes to go over how I would sell if I'd be John. And as I said already, I sold at 54% in menopausal women as a man at the 3K price point, and it was a course program as well, so I may have an insight that John doesn't. First and foremost, scrap all the boring questions. Instead, let's fucking understand what's the point of each stage you're going through during the sales call. Number one is discovery. Understand what are their truest and deepest pains, desires are. Funnily enough, you don't have to ask complicated questions. It's not funny, it is what it is. To understand what are their goals, I always went with, so John, what's your goal? I know it's fucking complicated, but you like cut through the crap. Most salespeople think they need to use all this complicated language. You don't. You seriously just need to use simplicity. So what's your goal, John? You're talking about weight loss. So what's your goal with weight loss, John? You're talking about making more money. So how much money do you want to be making? You're talking about menopause. So what kind of symptoms do you want to get rid of? You're talking about relationships. So what is your ideal partner? You talk about their desire. That's it. And you imagine you're speaking to a friend. Would you ask a friend, so tell me, friend, like what has caused you to look into this kind of solution? Like you wouldn't. You would just say, hey man, what's going? Why would you do that? You don't have to complicate this shit. Got you. Then after you ask that question, you go into got you and why would it be so important for you to achieve this? This is exactly how I ask this question every single time. And like if you just manage this part right, asking why would it be so important for them to achieve the goal they just said they did, so connect those two things, they will give you the most powerful information you will use to close them. I can guarantee you that if you just ask it right with the correct pauses, the way it's natural for you with the low tonality and like looking a bit concerned, you will just get the information you need. Because imagine this, you are talking about a weight loss coaching program and you just ask, what's your goal weight? How much do you want to lose? And they'll be like 20 kilos. You'll be like, cool, got you. And so John, tell me, I mean, like, why would it be so important for you to lose 20 kilos at this point in your life? Silence. You wait for them to speak. You know what they will say? They will say something along the lines, well, I'm 40 years old. My doctor told me that if I won't lose weight, I won't be able to live longer than another 10 years. And my daughter is going to be married in a year. They have planned a marriage party, and I want to make sure they can walk her down the aisle while looking fit and good on the pictures. Now, tell me, would somebody pay $3,000 to achieve this kind of result? Yes, with a yes in behind, they would. So use it. You're here to help them. Stop fucking boring them with shit that they don't want to answer, to instead ask them the right questions. That's it. Bonus, if they tell you their why the way I just told you, it's so important for them, they will usually share some pains with you as well. Then we move into more pains, and you know how to get that out. Very simple as well. So you just follow this question up with, so John, we're quite clear on what your goals are and why it's so important for you. We humans always either grow or decline. We know what will happen if you achieve your goal, growth, but what will happen if you don't? Like, if nothing changes for another year, what will happen then? I know, very simple. Once again, stupid simple. Yes. So, what will happen? They will tell you exactly what will happen. Oh, if for another year I won't be able to lose weight, well, I won't be able to look as good, and I will probably die sooner rather than later. Would somebody pay 3K to avoid that? I guess so, because let's understand the definition of sales. Like right now, we're trying to understand what are the phases, but understand the definition of sales. Sales is to inspire someone to change their behavior. Simple, right? Now, how do we inspire someone to change their behavior? Under which conditions do we human beings change our behavior in general? Either running away from something, we see a fucking tiger, and instead of continuing cooking the meal, we run away into the cave. Or during pleasures, we're walking in the bushes trying to hunt for a tiger, we see a beautiful naked lady sitting on the rock waiting for us. We stop hunting for the tiger and we engage in activities that make babies, right? So, we either run towards pleasure or we run away from pain. That's it. So, during the discovery phase, all we want to understand is what is their pain, what is their desire, That's it. What are they running away from? What are they running towards to? Then position our fucking solution as the bridge. That's the whole point of the method pitch. Let's jump right into it. So, method pitch. The point isn't to pitch them. As funny as it sounds, we're brought up on a Wolf of Wall Street, and if you read some of the old books on sales, you will find that pitching is a huge part of the sales world. I'd say the biggest one. But not in high ticket coaching and not in modern sales, I believe. At least I stopped pitching the moment I learned this. What we want to do instead is just have another simple conversation, this time about our solution. That's the main difference. We don't want to talk at them, we want to talk with them. And the simplest formula I found is yes, sir, or ECR. Explain, connect, reaffirm. You explain the stage, phase, whatever it is. So your method can be broken down in like three phases, three stages. So if you're in weight loss, it could be like nutrition, exercise, accountability. If you're in menopause, it would be nutrition, exercise, stress management. If you are in business, it could be leads, appointment, sales. Really doesn't matter, but you usually can break it down into 3 to 4 stages. And you basically explain each stage in 3 ways. You start with John. Nutrition is all about eating what you like but limit the calories. Basically, what we're looking at is making sure that you just don't overeat. So whatever your weight and height right now is, you have a set like 3,000 calories, for example. That's your maintenance. If you just eat that, you'll maintain the weight. I'm explaining the stage in an expressive and a short way. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, right? 3,000 calories is your maintenance. If we just eat at 1,500 calories, you can eat whatever you want, whatever you're currently eating. I mean, obviously, we would want to look at different meal plans, but all in all, you can eat whatever you want, but you will lose weight anyway. As you shared with me, you tried multiple diets in the past, they didn't work because you couldn't stay consistent. But have you tried eating what you like and only tracking calories, making sure you don't go over the maintenance limit and ideally speaking slightly below? Oh no, you didn't. Gotcha. You see how if we only did that and changed nothing else, we can start losing weight from the next week? Well, it makes sense logically, yeah? Cool, let's move on. Then I would explain, connect, and reaffirm each and every other stage. So the point of explaining is to really make them understand what the stage is all about, then connect it to their problem and their situation or their goal, ideally speaking, and then reaffirm. Just ask, do you see how if we only did that, or do you see how by doing that we're going to get closer to your goal even faster? Do you see why it would be so important to do that? Do you see how crucial it would be to start with that? Many ways to ask the same question. That's exactly how I do this. Then that's it. 3 questions, 3 answers. Conversation. And no, asking does that make sense or do you have any questions about this point ain't a conversation. And you can do that with the rest of your fucking phases and stages. It's simple. Really ain't that hard. I don't know why they don't teach that shit. To be honest, like boring pitches is boring. Then closing. Here is the part I see most salespeople getting it wrong completely. They think that objection handling is normal, and I thought this way too. Here's the thing. I only got the 54% conversion rate because I easily disqualified prospects before putting price in front of them. How? Very simple method. It's called 1 to 10 close. Right after the method pitch, you just ask a very simple question. John, tell me, before we move on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being you hate me, you don't want to talk to me ever again, and 10 being you feel the solution is 100% fit for you and you want to get started right away, where would you say you are? Once again, simplicity. That's it. They say 9, get cocky. Anything below 10 is a 0. Because whatever they say, 8.5, 9, 7, 6, strong 8, they can say many things. As long as it's not a 10, it's a 0 in your mind. So all we need to ask is, what's holding us back from being a clear and certain 10? Whatever they say afterwards is your objection. Oh, I'm just not sure about if it's gonna work for me. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What makes you feel this way? Well, I don't know. I just have never tried tracking calories, and I heard on TV that tracking calories doesn't work anymore. Oh, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense, you know. It actually reminds me of one of my clients that said the same exact thing. They were actually also struggling with 15 kilos, slightly less than you do. Their maintenance was 2,500, and they started eating at 1,500 calories per day. Do you know how fast they lost weight? They started losing 1 kilo a week because you cannot create energy out of nothing, right? And your fat is basically stored energy. All we need to do is just make sure that your body starts using it to live, because you waste calories throughout the day when you sleep, when you walk, when you blink, when your organs work. It doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Yeah, do you see how that will work for you? Yes. Cool. Is there anything else holding us back from being a 10? No. Are we at 10 now? Yes. Is there anything holding us back from getting started? No? Cool. Go ahead and grab your credit card. Let's get you going. That's it. You got them to a 10 if they said 10 in the beginning. Wonderful. Is there anything holding us back from getting started then? No? Wonderful. Go and grab your credit card. Let's get you going. But Arcade, it's so direct. It's so masculine. I actually once got a comment like that. But Arcade, it's so masculine. I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, what the fuck? But Arcade, it's so direct. Yes, I didn't even tell them how many coaching sessions they're going to get. My sweet potato, they don't give a tiniest fuck about how many sessions they're going to get, what features you have, where the program is stored, and all that kind of crap. I never brought it up on my sales calls. How many sessions? What are the features? What are the benefits? How long it is? All that kind of good stuff. What are they going to be working with? Unless I was hugely pressed. You care about it because you're the creator of the program. Or you're a closer who doesn't understand the whole value of it. That's why you think that X amount of coaching sessions will make a difference, but it won't. The only thing they, your prospects, care about is, do these guys' goals have a solution to my problem? That's the only thing they care about. That's it. That's the whole point of a sales call. So then we want to make sure they're certain that we do have a solution. That's how you close at 54%. If your script currently has a ton of questions, scrape them. They're of no good use. Last but not least, it's a huge emotional thing for me because I love sales with all my heart. I practice sales 3 hours a day in, day out, without end. Got myself to selling at 54% only because I was obsessed with sales. I truly believe that sales are everywhere pretty much. No matter where you go or what you do, you are gonna meet sales everywhere. And for me, when I see that someone is trying to do sales, once again, I applaud to it. But please learn. Like, it really, sales is not the hardest skill to learn. It just takes a lot of practice. But the skill itself is not that hard. You just need to learn how to use your tonality, your body language, and your emotional state. You need to be able to control yourself. And for some people, it's hard. I know, don't sell them. Like, you either do it or you don't do it. But if you do it fucking right. And the easiest way to understand if you're a good salesperson or a bad salesperson, look at your conversion rate. If it's below 25%, you're not the best. Accept it, get better, and improve. If it's 50%, don't listen to me. If you don't agree with me and you have a 50% closing rate, you're amazing. I don't know what I'm talking about in your exact situation, right? That's what we want. Always look at your conversion rate. If it's 50%, perfect. Don't even have to listen to me. If it's below 50%, maybe there is something to accept here. So, yeah, bonus. I dropped my per hour sales framework, the one that I used to close at 54%, and the one that includes all the points from this video. It's in the description down below. Feel free to grab it, use it, close, make more money, be happier. That would be it for today, comrades. Appreciate you watching this. I'm gonna see you later. Bye bye.